Before we begin, turn off the lights, close your door, and stay still. Tonight, you won't just hear a horror story. You're going to feel it. And if, at any moment, you sense someone standing behind you, don't look back. Just listen until the end. They say this kitchen still echoes with the clatter of utensils every single night, as if someone is still cooking, but no one knows for whom. People swear that anyone who dares to enter that old apartment smells fresh, hot food, long before they ever see the chef. And the scariest part? Everyone who has tasted the final meal has never walked out again. Ready? Let's begin. It was a stormy night, the kind where rain hammers against the windows and thunder shakes the very ground beneath your feet. A group of young friends, excited and a little naive, arrived at the old apartment they had just rented. The place was a steal, almost too good to be true. But as they stepped inside, a wave of cold air hit them. It was a dark, damp place, draped in a silence so heavy it felt like a physical weight, making every one of them uneasy. None of them were particularly good at cooking, but in an attempt to break the oppressive tension, they decided to make a group dinner. They figured a little noise and a warm meal would chase away the gloom. From the very first moment they stepped into the kitchen, it was clear something was wrong. The room seemed to fight back. The gas stove kept turning itself off with a soft hiss. Pots and pans would suddenly clatter to the floor from shelves, as if pushed by an unseen hand. And a faint, unsettling smell, like something old and burning, clung to the air. They tried to laugh it off as old pipes and a rickety building. But then, it happened. From the dining room, they heard the distinct sound of utensils moving, clinking against ceramic, a fork scraping a plate, the soft clatter of a spoon. They froze, exchanging wide-eyed glances. With their hearts pounding, they cautiously crept back towards the kitchen to check. They pushed the door open. Nothing. The kitchen was completely empty, silent, and still. Confused and more than a little freaked out, they returned to the dining table and stopped dead in their tracks. Waiting for them, perfectly ranged on the table, were plates full of hot, freshly cooked meals. Steam was still rising from dishes they had never prepared. The food looked unbelievably perfect, a professional chef's masterpiece. And the smell, the smell was tempting, almost hypnotic. It pulled them in, quieting the alarm bells ringing in their heads. Against their better judgment, their hunger won. They sat down, and they started eating. And only minutes later, everything changed. It began with a wave of dizziness, a cold sweat breaking out on their foreheads. A strange, burning heat started to spread through their bodies. Crawling up their limbs, their hands began to shake uncontrollably. Forks and knives clattering against the plates. Their eyes widened, not just with fear, but with a horrifying realization. It felt as if poison, slow and deliberate, was crawling through their veins. And that's when he appeared. A tall, shadowy figure materialized in the doorway, his face a blurry, distorted mess. Something fundamentally wrong with its shape. He wore an old, stained apron, and in his hands, he held ancient, rusted kitchen tools, not just holding them, but as if they were extensions of his own arms. He smiled a smile no human could ever make, too wide, too sharp, and whispered in a broken, raspy voice, "I made your meal, and every dish has its own time of death. You think you can leave? No one leaves my kitchen." Panic erupted. They scrambled from their chairs, tried to escape, but there was no way out. Their phones had no signal. The front door, which they had just walked through, was now locked tight. Refusing to budge, the window slammed shut on their own, the glass rattling violently in its frame. Every frantic attempt to escape, every hallway they ran down, somehow led them right back to the same cursed kitchen. Back to him. Minute by minute, the poison transformed them. Their bodies began to twist into unnatural shapes. Their skin paled, their veins turning black beneath the surface. Their eyes started to glow with a faint, sickly light, and their voices, once full of screams, turned into low, monstrous growls. They weren't just dying, they were changing into something else. They tried screaming, tried crawling, tried clinging to anything that felt real, but the kitchen had already chosen them. One by one, their struggles ceased. They collapsed to the floor, and the apartment fell silent once more. Then the kitchen door creaked open. The ghost, the chef, appeared again. He walked straight toward a small camera one of the friends had left recording in the corner of the room. He bent forward, his blurry face filling the frame, and with that same wide, unnatural grin, he whispered, "So, who's next? Who's ready to taste the final meal?" Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, leave a comment and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will keep you up at night. Sleep tight.